Well, hello there. How are you? I'm mighty excited. It's Phil here from Radio Station Solutions, and today I've just put together, or I'm going to put together a little video which will show you all you can do with command markers. What? Another thing? Yes, it's another little toy that we've put into PlayoutONE for a very good reason. Because, well, let me give you a little bit of a background into my life. I don't want to bore you too much, but as part of my other thing I do, I'm the Managing Director of Radio Newark in Nottinghamshire. And here we have a community radio station, we have a DAB regional station as well, and the online offerings for the operation. But what we also do is we have a couple of syndicated programs that come into us every week. Now, one or two of you may have heard of Totally 80s. You may have heard of Totally 90s. Both of those shows come to us from Blue Revolution, which is Paul Hollins' company. So hello, Paul, probably watching and listening to this. And we get them every single week. We put them into our system. Up until this point, though, I've been a little bit lazy. And that means that when I bring the files in, I don't then decide to localize those files. And by that, I mean I don't get the 18-minute segments that Paul sends me and then decide to put Radio Newark jingles and sweepers in them. Because I've got a really busy life, to be honest, and it would take me, I reckon, about 40 minutes to get all of the segments done and then imported. So, whilst the next few minutes is going to be very interesting for you in multiple different reasons, I'm going to hold that thought, as a practical reason why you will like, I hope, the command marker feature. Okay, so we're in PlayoutONE Pro at the moment, so you'll see that on the screen there. And I'm going to show you a couple of ways of doing this. First of all, let me just open up this file. Now, this file here is Totally 80s Hour 1 Part 1. So this is the first part of the first hour of Totally 80s with Gary King. 18 minutes and 11 seconds long. If I was to play this for you, you'll just hear a fantastic show from Gary King, of course, expertly put together by Paul Hollins, but you won't hear any Radio Newark sweepers in there at all. What I want to do is I want to be able to actually put a couple of sweepers in this file, but I don't want to have to mix this file down as a new one first. Okay, so that's what command markers, first of all, can be used for here at Radio Newark, and hopefully for your station as well. Okay, two ways of doing it. You can set up a command marker in the command window, so you can use it all the time. So like one, you set up one, so you call for it every time you do it, or you can do it on the fly. Okay. What I'm going to do first of all is show you how to set one up as like a one you can use at any instance. So let me go to our command window, which is here. All right. You've probably seen this before. You may have lots of different things in here. In the Radio Newark 1, this isn't our direct database, but you'll find we've got about 30 different commands in there. But I've cleaned it all out just for this demonstration for you. So I'm going to put in here a command that you've probably seen before if you've been using the system for a little while. PlayUID. This is play a cart, or basically a number. Okay. Now, I know that on cart 1000 I've got a sweeper. And the sweeper says Radio Newark. Expertly voiced, I have to say, by Dan Harper. So I'm going to put that in as a parameter. So cart 1000, okay, is my specific car I want to use here. Okay, so I'm going to add that there. PlayUID 1000. I'm going to save that. If I jump down to cart 1000, there it is, you see. And that's what I'm going to try and use my command marker to fire when I want it to fire. Okay, so let me go back to the Totally 80s cart, and as you can see at the bottom of the screen here, I've got my standard options of the details, other bits and pieces in here, the rotates. I'm not going to bother with any of this for this demonstration. I'm going to go right to the end where it says command markers. Okay, so I reckon by listening to this, I'll probably be able to listen along, and I know you can't hear this, by the way, because I'm using the same PC to record this video on, but about there I want to add a Radio Newark sweeper, because that's just after Gary King introduces his first artist, and he's not talked directly up to the vocal, he's actually left about 3 seconds, which is rather handy. Okay, here I want to put a marker in there, I want to put a jingle in there, a sweeper that says Radio Newark. Okay, sounds when Dan does it sounds much better than I've done. So that's what I want to do, and to do that I'm going to give this marker a name. So I'm going to call it localizer, and we'll call it localizer 1. Okay, I have to tell the system where it's going to be, even though I've stopped it at 18. Sorry, this position rather of 18 minutes is 40 seconds in. I need to basically set my marker there, which you'll notice is the same as that. Okay. Now I've set the name of this little point in time, localizer 1. I've given it the time I want it to actually fire it, but I've not told it what to fire yet. I'm going to first of all use that predefined cart we just did before, because if I now click here and hit play your it's there, look, wow. It's actually there. I do know what I'm doing some of the time. I'll click that, okay, and then I want to basically call that up at that point. So that's exactly what I want to do. So if I do that, I know at 40 seconds it's going to put that marker in and play it for me. Okay, that's one way of doing it. It'll go there. The other way of doing it, sorry, I've not added it, have I? Stupid boy. I'm going to add it there. Okay, so that localizer 1 is going to play at 40 seconds and 81 seconds. All right, and you can see now in the cart, if I just move that to one side a minute, you'll notice that there's a little bar appeared, and that's where my predefined Radio Newark is going to play just after Gary shuts up. That's one way of doing it. So we make a predefined command and we can call that up again and again and again. So for example, I can go further down the show, get to about here, and I know Gary's going to do the same thing. Let's have a listen. There, I can call it another local. I can pull the same thing up but call it a different thing. So localizer 2, set the marker, which is now 3 minutes and 28 seconds in. A predefined command again of the same jingle, the same sweeper. Okay, and I can add that there as well. As you can see, I'm making a little stack of predefined jingles that will go in at these points. Okay, there we go. And the other way of doing it is you don't have to make a predefined command. So let me just close this again. I'm going to save that. If you remember a few minutes ago, we went into this portion of the software and we made this thing, so we can call that up at any point in our lives. Sometimes you might be doing this and you don't want to make a predefined command that you can call up again and again and again because it's just one thing you want to do at one point, then you want to discard it. Okay, so let's do it from that side of the world. I'm going to open up the cart again. You may notice, by the way, that there's a little yellowy orange type ball attached now to this icon. What it means is, if I hover over it, this item has audio and has command markers, so it shows you that you've made those points already, so you can see that in the system. Right, I'm going to open it again. Our first 2 points are there. Later on in the hour, in the first 18 minutes of the show, let me just listen to this here. I'm sorry again you can't hear this because it's on my pre-fade channel. I'm going to stop it at the next time Gary gives me the time to do it, which is about here. And I'm going to put another command marker in, but this time I'm going to do it on the fly. So I'm not going to go to the one I've made before. I'm going to go to the next one, and you can see beneath me, beneath the 1000 cart, there's a 1001, which is another sweeper. So I'm just going to use that instead. I'm going to go to my command markers window again. I'm going to give it a name. Localizer 3. If you're looking at this thinking, what's a localizer? It's a station jingle that turns a network show. Oh, I hate that word network, especially at the minute. A shared show, something that's given to you to use and given to other people as well. I'm going to call it Localizer 3, so it puts Radio Newark's branding onto it, basically. I'm going to set my marker for this point, which is 6 minutes and 12, which is there. Now, instead of hitting the predefined button, which will give me the option again to do the same thing in the network, I've said network twice. Sorry. Stop that. I'm going to basically just tell this to call up that cart at that time. So the command will be play UID, which will be near the bottom here. Hopefully. There we go. Play UID. And the parameters is going to be the cart number, 1001. I'm now going to add that. And there it is. So you can actually do that as well on the fly. You don't have to create a command marker to be used all the time. You can just literally go, I fancy playing that cart at that time. And that's how you do it. You save it. Now, I bet you want to see on the screen exactly what happens, don't you? Yes, you do. I know you do. Right, so I'm going to save this. My first command marker is at 40 seconds. Right, so I'm going to play this cart here. Now, when I hit the play button, it will start playing the first 18-minute segment of Totally 80s. When it gets to 40 seconds in, though, we should see the next cart player fire the localizer sweeper whilst it continues to play the show in cart 1. All right, so let's have a look, see what happens. So there we go. The show has now started. Again, you can't hear that because it's in my pre-fade channel. I can assure you it's there. Gary is whispering sweet nothings in my ear right now. And when this gets to 40 seconds in, you'll see cart 2 play my localizer automatically because I've told it to. So here we go. Just talking with yourselves. La 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 la. Hasn't it been windy? What, ever? No, this last few weeks. If you're watching this in the summertime, then you'll think I've gone nuts. Right, we're nearly there. 35 seconds. Watch what happens. Here we go. Hey, there we are. So at 40 seconds, my localizer fires, and the show's continuing to play. That's great. We've got another one, haven't we? Further down, where you'll see, if we keep this running long enough, you see the next localizer play, and then the next localizer play after that. And that's just one way of using command markers in PlayoutONE. This is a brand new release. It finished its beta test with Radio Nuke recently. It's ready to go in our next update now on PlayoutONE. Hopefully you'll find time to play with it. Hopefully you'll find it of some use. I absolutely adore it. I think it's a wonderful piece of work. So thank you to the other boys at PlayoutONE for that. Any questions, of course, you can fire them through on our Facebook page or support at playoutone.com. But for now, thank you for watching.